purpose of the United Religions Initiative is to promote enduring daily interfaith cooperation to end the religiously motivated violence and to create cultures of peace, justice and healing for Earth and all living beings. The URI envisions a world at peace sustained by the engaged and interconnected communities committed to respectful diversity, non-violent resolution of conflict and social, political, economic and environmental justice. The URI is a global grassroots interfaith network that cultivates peace and justice by engaging people to bridge religious and cultural differences and work together for the good for their communities and the world. To be speaking about such an organization, we do have today with us on Nile Cruise Dr. Ahmed Osama Abu Doma, the Global Board Trustee at the United Religion Initiative. Thank you very much for being with us today.
My pleasure, thank you.
Good morning now, Dr. Osama. Now, although peace is core principle of all religions, many atrocities are committed nowadays under the pretext of religion. How do you see this, and what is the role of URI in this regard?
The URI is one of the global initiatives, very famous global initiatives working worldwide, and we are participated in 100 countries, and we have a seat in the United Nations and the African Union. We are working with cooperation circles everywhere. We have people, we have team with the MENA region, multi-regions, Europe, states. Our mission, as you mentioned, it seems like you are studying very well what we are doing now. It is a long time ago we are working on peace building and interfaith dialogue. Interfaith, it means interfaith and interface together, because the means of communication between people, the means of understanding with the religions or faiths brings a lot of violence, as we all know, and as the scene now of terrorism everywhere under the cover of serving God with killing people. So our role is just to understand each other and to accept the diversity and the luxury of diversity in peace building and living together and serving humanity without any kind of discriminations based on religions, ethnics, or nationalities.
So what are the certain activities that are being held here in Egypt by the URI and worldwide, of course?
In Egypt, we participated in the international conference with Al-Azhar Sharif under the patronage of the President Sisi and the Grand Imam Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Tayyib. Same time, we participated during the visit of the Pope of Vatican in Egypt. Also, we organized many of interfaith conferences and workshops with cooperation with other organizations.
Yes.
As we trained more than 500 teachers all over the past year for the Islamic religion and the Christian religions, teachers, to deal with the new generations, to build up the people and the kids in with a real information and a better of understanding and behaviors to each other, fighting the extremism, which is now they have the influence in every place in Egypt and worldwide. So the challenge now is very hard to work in this environment. As our generations in the past, we grow up in a different environment. All of these kind of talking about religions or who will go to the heaven and who will go to hell, it wasn't our lifestyle. We grow up, it's not our families, it's not our nature in Egypt especially. And also, as we know, globally now, there are a lot of miscommunication, misunderstanding of religions, of terrorism. So it needs a lot of public diplomacy as we are doing, and build up new culture, not new culture, the real culture,
Yes.
back to Egypt.
Restoring our
Yes.
original culture.
Yes,
Okay.
our region.
Okay.
Our region.
Dr. Osama, now URI implements the mission through local and global initiatives, as Ahmed mentioned, that build the capacity of the 859 member groups and organizations called cooperation circles to engage in the community actions such as conflict resolution, such as reconciliation, such as environmental sustainability, education, women's and youth issues and programs and advocacy of human rights. Now, this is a very wide range of topics. What are some of the remarkable achievements in those fields?
Many. I'm a member of the URI since maybe more than a decade, and maybe 12, 13 years ago or 14 years ago. The groups and the regional offices, we are working on many topics, as you mentioned, and we organized a lot of workshops, regional and international, with the cooperation circles. Everyone is working in their local market or local places, countries, and same time we are working with the regional and the global board. So we are all connected with networking to work together on building this. With the women, it's very important because women is the real builder of the society. It's not a compliment for women, but because it is the reality. Our parents, the mother originally is one of the backbone and the base of building the personality and the first impressions and education in life. Same time, it is she is the partner in the community, hand to hand to work together. So we have a group for women in the MENA region, and same time we are working through the cooperation circles, as you mentioned, in 100 countries worldwide to do the same. And we are looking in the same in this month we will have a board of trustees board meeting by the end of this month to work strategically for the next years, how we will work on more achievements and more efforts to work hardly and faithfully to our beliefs. Peace building is not just a word, it is a behaviors, it is the environment we are living for. It's based on many things in economic development, sustainable development, education, and the culture will not be built in one day. No, it took time. As when we mentioned Egypt with the liberal lifestyle long time ago, with the philosophers, writers, songs, culture, arts, all of these things reflects on and based on the society itself and the taste of the people.
Yes, Dr. Ahmed, you said that one of the main missions or the main achievements of the URI is to be restoring the Egyptian identity once again to the Egyptian people right now, which means that coexistence is one of the main characters of the Egyptian identity that we have seen in the past. How can we do this, especially that we have seen that Islam is living along with Christianity and even Judaism in the 1940s and the 1930s?
Yes.
How can we do that again once more?
Again, it's not that easy and it's not that impossible. We can do it. It needs just the cooperation between the government, between the cultural associations, the civil society, and the religious organizations, formal organizations, which is very important issue with the Azhar and church. Same time with the media. Media is very important in promoting and disseminating this kind of activity, culture again. If you remember, during the 18 days of the 25th of January, in Tahrir Square, all of the Egyptians people were together, Muslims, Christians, whatever. No one asked anyone about their religion. They have one mission, looking for justice, looking for better life, looking for social equality, freedom. So all of these things is part of the human rights. So what we are looking for, and we have to work on it, that no discrimination between people, no isolating island between people. All of us in my generation at least, and the others older than me, we weren't in this environment. We grow up together with no kind of discriminations, and it wasn't an issue. But now any kind of terrorism related directly, who is behind? What's the religious people who do it? Why? Because the reality of the extremists, they took a big part in the absence of the government achievements and accomplishments on the ground. What's needed is to give the chance to the intellectuals, to give the chance to the national people, and at the same time who is understanding what's globally happening around and regionally, how we can work on it, not to bring religion in politics, to play game with it, to gain seats in the parliament or even in the government.
Or to achieve any gains, whatever they are.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Dr. Osama, I have one final question to you. In order to achieve the very good objectives that you mentioned to us, you need to collaborate with various entities and bodies, such as the media, for example,
Sure.
government bodies,
Sure.
the civil society. So would you elaborate on this type of collaboration with all those entities, whether the private or the public?
We are looking for it, and we are working on it. Now we are just working as a civil society organizations and with informal organizations. What we need for is international cooperation for fighting terrorism, not only with the militaries or these kind of confrontations, which is very important, but now we are in need for alliance of civilization as a UN initiative. We are in need for the Egyptian government and the culture and Azhar churches to work together, and we can organize conferences, workshops, and we can bringing or delivering more workshops in training people, TOT, like for the teachers, like for the parents, social people, with the even imams or new church priests, to be more open and to know each other more and to know the reality of the humanity in religions, the brotherhood in religions or in humanity, the humanitarian family out of all of these kind of slogans, which just people used it for their own benefits, nor for the humanity. As Mother Teresa said, alone I can't do anything, but together we can do a lot of things for God. And all of the religions are ordering people and guiding people to do the best
And they
of
have the
them
same
with
base.
the behaviors in the same base,
Yes.
to serve humanity, to serve even the animals, to be kind, not to fight or to kill under the name of God. That's it.
Yes, and I think that to be kind is
The best message.
exactly at the end of our meeting with you, Dr. Ahmed Osama Abu Doma, the Global Board Trustee at the United Religion Initiative. Thank you very much for being with us today on Nile Cruise.
Thank you
Very
very
well,
much.
sir.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir. And now we're going to take a short break and learn a little bit about the latest entertainment news with our colleague Basma Taha. Then we'll be right back.